This is the weirdest drunk hockey I've ever done. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Capitals had a love child and birthed this logo. Alright guys, we have another edition of Drunk Hockey. Yay! I have spent a lot of time figuring out what I should do this week. There's definitely no shortage of things to talk about. But this week's a pretty big week for me. I am headed to Japan this week. What? I really wish I had some sake here. I had this brilliant idea to talk a little bit about hockey in Japan because I can't think of a better thing to do the week before I go to Japan. Or the week I go to Japan, I should say. Buckle up for some fun, guys. Hockey in Asia is just full of everything you would expect. Kind of weird, obscure, different. The Winter Olympics are going to be in Asia twice in the upcoming years, in the upcoming Olympics. So the NHL is trying to make an impact over in Asia because that's a huge market for them to hit on. Just imagine like the NHL being like, sup babe? So the NHL is definitely trying to slide into them DMs and, you know, hit up that Asian market because that's a huge market for them. And if they can get in on that, that's amazing. And it'd be really great for the growth of the sport. So very, very briefly, hockey in Asia. Back in the 1920s, some British people showed up in Japan. Yes, I know the British. I don't know how or why this happened, but yes, the British. And they were all like, what's the accent for Britain? Aye, mate. That is definitely Australia. What's the accent for England? Righto, chaps. We have this awesome sport that you should play. Cheerio. I should never do accents. I'm the worst at doing accents. And the locals were like, oh my god, this sport is super awesome. We should totally form our own team. And in 1925, the OG Eagles were born. They are based in the northernmost Ireland in Japan, so the climate there is perfect for ice hockey. And I know, I keep calling it ice hockey, but when you search hockey in Japan, what comes up is field hockey. So you have to search ice hockey in Japan, and it's in my head right now, so back off haters, it's ice hockey when you're searching in Asia. But anyways, the OG Eagles pretty much carried hockey in Japan. Kind of, maybe. I don't know, the history is pretty loose. And at this time, the only hockey competition was the All Japan Ice Hockey Championship, which started in 1930, and that makes it one of the oldest sporting competitions in Japan. This is a country with sumo wrestling, which dates back 2,000 plus years. So this sport has a lot of history in Japan. And the OG Eagles played some university teams and some other teams that popped up here and there. But the OG Eagles were kind of like, come on guys, hockey is awesome. We should make this a real thing here. So in 1966, the Japan Ice Hockey League was founded. And a bunch of teams came and went, but the teams that stuck around were the OG Eagles, Nikko Ice Bucks, and the Nippon Paper Cranes. So while all of this fun was happening in Japan, there was this one team in South Korea, the Anyang Halla, that was just like tearing it up in the Korean Ice Hockey League. But after the 2002 season, the Korean Ice Hockey League folded, and the Anyang Halla were sad. And so the Anyang Halla went over to the OG Eagles and were like, hey guys, you've been around for a really long time, and so have we. We'd really hate to lose all of that history, but we have no one to play with because our league folded. Can you please help us out? Also, hockey is awesome, right? So in 2003, they all come together and form what is now known as the Asia League Ice Hockey, or as I like to call it, the Asia Ice Hockey League. And so while everyone is getting to know each other this year, they kind of put a regular and formal season on hold. Then in 2004 and 2005, they had their first full season, and they were kind of like, hey, China and Russia, do you guys want to play too? And China and Russia were like, sure, why the heck not? Teams have come and gone, but since then, the original four teams, the OG Eagles, the Nikko Ice Bucks, the Nippon Paper Cranes, and the Anyang Halla have all stood the test of time. And right now, the Asia Ice Hockey League is made up of 8 teams from South Korea, Japan, and Russia. So there you have it, everybody. Everything you didn't know that you needed to know about hockey in Asia and Japan. But if there's anything else that you would like to see, especially with me going to Japan, please let me know in the comments below. And cheers to hockey, guys. Woo! Bartender, I'd like another drink, please. Turns out I'm my own bartender. I have a new drink now. I have such a great bartender. Always drink responsibly, guys.